can barely read. They can barely fucking read, and y'all arguing so they can say.
Can confirm, as someone who just started substitute teaching, I can confirm that everything that the lady said in the TikTok I just stitched is very true. These kids cannot read.
Guys, men are chilling as society just collapses. Women basically said, men, we don't need you. Men, we don't want you. So men are just sitting on the sidelines right now while watching everything crash and burn around us. Men were pushed out of the education system, and now we have multiple generations of men that were raised by women, and it's the society that we have now inherited. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men just chilling as society collapses around us. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. We're moving over to Rumble, so follow us on Rumble to always get our videos. It's linked in the description of this video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. So, guys, the financial system is on the brink. ATMs might freeze and banks could close their doors. Your assets are at serious risk. Discover how to protect your wealth with cryptocurrency at Angry's Crypto Academy. You'll master the skills to buy, sell, trade, and invest in the most secure coins, plus uncover four coins that virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the video description below to find out what these coins are and join the academy today.
Did you ever think you'd be going to college here?
No, never. Never in a million years.
In some ways, Alicia Ortiz is living an American dream. The 19-year-old began her freshman year at the University of Connecticut in Hartford this fall. She's excited to study public policy, the culmination of hard work after moving north from Puerto Rico as a child. Do you remember when you first came to Connecticut?
Yes, I remember I was very nervous, but I know it was gonna be better opportunities for me to learn.
But Alicia says those opportunities never came to fruition. Even today, could you read this, or would it take you a long time?
It's impossible. I just see his words everywhere.
Alicia graduated from the Hartford Public School System last year, but she says today she is illiterate. She still doesn't know how to read or write. When she was in early education,
They would just either tell me to stay in a corner and sleep, or just draw pictures, flowers for them.
and when she was in high school, she relied on speech-to-text programs and other apps to read and write essays. So, if you had an assignment where you had to write something, you'd open up a document like this and then do what?
I would go here to use the text-to-speech.
It says dictate.
Dictate, yep. I love pizza.
This is how you would do your assignments.
And then
Cats of the World VAK sporting a twin-prop airplane.
If you had to read something, that's how you do it. She said her mother, who does not speak English well, tried to get answers.
she advocated so much. She went to the school. The principal will promise her that they will do better. And sometimes there will be people from the district or the directors promising her that they will do better.
Now, Alicia is suing the Hartford Board of Education and the city for negligence. The suit alleges the school district documented and acknowledged Alicia's learning challenges through multiple grades, but because they were not adequately addressed, she continued to struggle academically and began exhibiting maladaptive behaviors in the classroom.
My first substitute assignment, I subbed in for a middle school English teacher. She left a packet of work for her students to complete in her absence. She left instructions for me to follow, and I looked over the packet. I'm thinking, oh, this is pretty standard stuff. It was like grammar practice with commas, and then they had to do like a crossword puzzle with some vocab words, use the vocab words in a sentence. Like, I'm like, okay, this is basically your standard middle school busy work. I'm like, they'll knock this out, and then I figured they would be chill. Boy, was I wrong. The first thing that really shocked me was the fact that I had to tell so many students to write their name on their paper. And then when they did, they would only write their first name. No last name, no date, no period they were in, none of that. I'm like, why do I have to tell y'all to write your full name? And then the penmanship, my God. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, y'all are what, 7th grade? Why are y'all writing like some of them wrote like a 2nd or 1st grade?
I will feel proud to be the bad child because at least I was something to them, and I wasn't invisible.
While the city of Hartford and an educator named in the suit declined to comment when contacted by CNN, in a statement, Hartford Public Schools wrote, "While Hartford Public Schools cannot comment on pending litigation, we remain deeply committed to meeting the full range of needs our students bring with them when they enter our schools and helping them reach their full potential."
What's the dog, man?
Dr. Jesse Turner is the leader of the Literacy Center at Central Connecticut State University. He feels the main issue here is inequality in public education.
America should be asking a question. Do we really care about our children, all of our children? And I would argue that maybe we don't.
A 2019 report from EdBuild, which promotes equity in public schools, found that majority non-white school districts get $23 billion less than districts that serve mostly white students. Minority enrollment in Hartford's public schools is at about 90%.
The Department of Education is a big con job.
Plus, Turner fears a crucial guardrail will be lost if the Trump administration follows through with abolishing the Department of Education.
How do I protect the special education children? Who do I go to if I close it down?
College has presented its own obstacles, but Alicia says UConn has been accommodating. But she doesn't want any other student to go through what she experienced.
I know we can do better, and I know we have a powerful community that wants to do better. I want to be the voice for them.
Danny Freeman, CNN.
Yo, this is why they're not hiring Gen Z right now. This is just among the reasons why they are not hiring them. Employers have been complaining that they are very, very unhappy with kids graduating from Harvard, and they don't understand why these kids are not performing well. This is why they are not performing well. A lot of them were DEI emissions, especially during the events of 2020, where these little good-for-nothing muffins did not have to go to school. They basically were allowed to graduate, get diplomas they didn't earn, degrees they didn't earn. They didn't earn any of this stuff. All right, they can't read, they can't write. They sure as hell can't write cursive. All right, they don't even know how to sound it out. These children are not even on the level of a Gen Xer, a 7-year-old Gen Xer in the 1980s or 1970s. They're not on that level. They are 100% not on that level. They can't read. They can't read. They can't write. They're gone. These kids are cooked. Let me make this very clear. They are not going to learn. They are not going to learn how to read. If you notice, she does not know how to read. She still can't read at 19 years old. She's in school. She's still illiterate, cannot read, cannot write, and the university is allowing her to continue on. How is she doing math? How is she getting through these classes? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This tells us that the system right now that we're in is completely rigged. And the same people who rigged the system are saying the reason why these kids can't read is because there's not enough money. There's a $23 billion disparity between minority schools and white and schools in predominantly white neighborhoods. So if we send more money to the minority communities, suddenly these children will magically start learning how to read. It is not because of money why they cannot read. Okay, it's because the boomers took things like phonetics out of the schools. The teachers are no longer teaching children how to learn, how to read. They're teaching them politics and identity and all of this other garbage. They are indoctrinating these young people. Okay, school is not a place for learning anymore. Even in the past, it barely was. It is a place where you go to be lectured to and told what you are supposed to think. All right. You don't learn how to think. You don't learn how to reason. You're told basically, well, this is what you're going to do, and blah 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 blah, and listen to me because I say so. Guys, this is an absolute and utter disgrace. And I'm glad that she's at least suing these people. Hopefully she gets her settlement, but it doesn't really make any difference because they don't care. It's kind of like when you have a situation where you have police officers who have qualified immunity, which is just a bunch of terms made up, a term made up by the courts, and they decide what qualifies as qualified immunity and doesn't, but it doesn't actually exist. It's the same type of concept when it comes to the Department of Education and these educators and legislators. They can basically say whatever the heck they want to say, but you sue cops when they violate your rights, and maybe you win, maybe you don't, but it doesn't change anything. These same people still end up getting a promotion, and the bad educators who don't teach children how to read, don't teach children how to write, fail these young people. They get to keep their jobs and even get promotions, and then maybe the kids who like one of the kids who suffered as a result of this gets a settlement. But what happens to all of the other kids? And that settlement isn't going to last them for the rest of their lives. You got a $200,000 settlement, all right? For because you can't read or write. But that's nothing. That $200,000 is nothing if you are illiterate. You don't even if you are illiterate, then chances are you also can't do math. Okay, so you don't know how to count your money. You don't know how to reason. You can't even check your bank account. All right, money is, if you don't have the basic skills to manage money, if you can't read or write, you can't do anything. All right, you'll have someone else just telling you stuff. This is how you get robbed. You are completely lost in this entire world. And there are those amongst me who will try to rationalize illiteracy and saying that, well, they have family members that are illiterate, and they're doing just fine in life. And no, that they are not doing just fine in life. Okay, miss me with that load of nonsense, miss me with that load of BS. If you are illiterate, you're going to have a much harder life than many, a much harder life than many. Gen Z can't read. These bad muffins can't read. And I'm not saying it's all of their fault, but the fact remains is that it's still their problem, and it's society's problem as well. And this is a living hell that we are in.
Z Can't Read Part 2. In the late 1920s, American schools switched from teaching reading through phonics.
So this explains something that I've been curious about since it happened. So I am very much dyslexic. So I have been in special English classes my entire life. And so this one time when I had just moved, my new special English teacher, I do that because I really have no idea what they were really called, so that's just what I call them anyway. She had all the kids do this reading test. For some reason, I was the last one. I don't know why. Maybe because I was new and she didn't really know me. But she had me read down, and there was like a 5-minute timer or something like that. But once the time was done, she had me keep going, and she said she was so fascinated by how I was reading the words because she had never seen it before, and I think this is the reason why. And so I'm assuming my very first special English teacher taught me this phonic way. I think that's what she said. I don't really remember. But yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all, when we were growing up, we had phonics books. In second grade, we had to do our phonics homework that taught us how to sound it out. The boomers took phonetics out of school. Y'all, they did this deliberately. There's no way you cannot prove to me that the boomers did not do this deliberately. They didn't want the guys, they wanted to dumb us down so we'd be just smart enough to keep things operating, but not smart enough to know how badly we were being screwed over. They took phonics out of the schools. They replaced normal math with Common Core. So Gen Z can't do math. Gen Z can't read and write. Gen Z basically are there. Guys, I call them bad muffins because I can't use the word bums. All right. I say bad muffins because I can't use the word bums. What I really mean, I say, these darn muffins. I really want to say these damn bums. All right, but I can't say the word bums. Okay. But and so sometimes I'm like, they're just a bunch of bad little muffins, bro. What I really mean is, there's some bad bums. All right, but I can't say the word bums. I can't say the word bums. All right, but these are some bad bums. Just being real. And I'm not saying it's all of their fault. The real people that are responsible for this are the baby boomers. They are so bad, guys. They will come into my comments and say that, oh, we didn't do it, stop blaming us, you must really hate us. You did this. You stole our futures while we were still in diapers, and you won't stop, guys. These people are bad people, and they'll start trying to blame other people and tell us, well, it's not us, it's a specific group of people. These specific group of people did not take phonics out of the school. These specific group of people did not give us Common Core. These specific group of people did not vote unanimously to keep on taking on more and more debt, saying that future generations would just have to pay for it so that we can enjoy our entitlements. Okay. They did not do that. You did this. It's just like Ben Shapiro has said before. Like when someone asked him about, the CIA putting the derivative of the fluffy white stuff in the black community, Ben Shapiro goes, regardless of how you feel about Ben Shapiro, this was a great response. Ben Shapiro goes, well, first off, there is no evidence that the CIA actually introduced this stuff into the black community. And again, I don't know if I agree with that or disagree with that. I'm not developing an opinion on that. But I like the way he refuted it and then immediately said, but let's say they did. You cannot force you cannot force black people to use the derivative of fluffy white stuff. They chose to do that. Now don't get me wrong. If you're dealing with mass poverty and lack of proper education, it is definitely something that can increase dramatically increase the chances of it being used. But regardless, no one forced them to use it. And the fact of the matter is that no one forced the boomers to do what they did. They chose to do it out of greed and spite. All right, they chose to do it because they did not like us, guys. That's one of the reasons why I keep on warning you guys. We are on the brink of collapse right now. The ATMs are going to freeze. The banks are going to close their doors. Your assets are at serious risk. Discover how to protect your wealth with cryptocurrency at Angry's Crypto Academy. You'll master the skills to buy, sell, trade, and invest in the most secure coins, plus uncover 4 coins that virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the video description below to find out what these coins are, what these cryptos are, and join the academy today.
In terms of the penmanship, the quality, I'm like, looks like chicken scratch. And so the writing, because reading and writing are, let's be clear, the two go together. So that should have been my first clue, honestly. But that is what kind of shocked me first. Then when it came to time for them to actually do the packets, the kids did not want to read the instructions. They would literally take the packet and be like, raise their hand, I don't know what to do. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? The first thing I asked them, did you read the instructions? They'd be like, oh, no. And I was like, read the instructions and then see if you still have questions. And then come to find out, a lot of these kids, like, they're not comfortable reading. By day 2 of my second assignment, it had become abundantly clear to me. America has a problem, and it's that these kids can't read. Like young Gen Z and these Gen Alpha babies, yeah, they can't read. They cannot read. And like another thing that shocked me was how low their vocabulary was. And like their word recognition, they did not know how to recognize or pronounce certain words. I had some student ask me how to pronounce the word abbreviation and then ask me what that meant. One girl didn't know what segregated meant. So I was just like, y'all are like 12 or 13 that don't know what segregated means, don't know what an abbreviation is. I was just really, really shocked that these kids... my theory is COVID. I blame COVID and George Bush, because that motherfucker left a lot of kids behind. And COVID, I thought there was a gap with everyone having to be remote, but it was just crazy to actually see in real time, like, yeah, these kids can't read.
These kids can't read. These muffins can't read. Like I said, I can't call them. I can't use the word bums, but I really want to use the word bums. Use some bad bums, but these kids can't read.
Yesterday, I went live on Facebook because I made a status that said, "This generation scares me." What you mean y'all can't read? Made that status with general and genuine concern, because I'm hearing a lot of teachers, a lot of parents, just a lot of people in general speaking, about the amount of people who cannot read. And we're talking from the ages of 5 to the age of like 22, right? This generation is struggling. They are struggling to learn how to read. They are struggling to be motivated to want to learn anything. They are struggling to exist at school because things are just so different. A lot of us went to school back when you didn't have cell phones that you could touch the screen and do things. You didn't have Google. There was no YouTube. And if there was YouTube, you only was getting on it on your iPhone. Times have changed drastically. We live in a generation where tablets are teachers, and the things that they have access to on the tablet are not necessarily good for the growth of their education or the growth of them just as a human. And so I went live yesterday. I just kind of talked about how I felt. And on top of that, I opened up the floor to suggestions on what we can do as a community and as a people to ensure that our kids can read.
Now, let me make this very clear. What's frightening about the situation is the liberals noticed that it was a, there was the white guy talking about the situation, saying that, oh, it's because of disparities within the African American and minority communities. But, bro, white kids can't read either. What are you talking about? These muffins can't read. All right. What are you talking about? They can't. All of these kids can't read. None of these kids can't read. So what are you talking, guys? These people just want money. They just want money. They don't care about our future. They've never cared about us. They never cared about anyone but themselves and getting their money. Okay? They just want money. They just want money. This is and men are, and what's happening? Men have just given up on society. Men are chilling. Men are chilling as society just collapses. Men are relaxing at home, eating well, sleeping well, pooping well, just enjoying living their best life, simple lives of luxury and comfort, as the world around us collapses and burns to the damn ground. Because men are sick of it. Men were pushed out of society, and a society without its men is not a society. A country without its men is not a country. A country without its men is a wasteland. And that's increasingly what we are seeing right now. We are literally heading into the wasteland. 100% heading into the wasteland as a result of men just giving up, throwing their hands up, and walking away. We are now 3 generations of men raised by women, and we can see what the consequences are because men are now gone. We need men as educators. We need men as leaders. We need men to guide, to lead, to be strong, to have a strong country. But no one seems to understand this. And the baby boomers, all of that woke garbage, it came from the boomers. They are the hippies. They are the OG hippies. All of that woke narrative, everything, all of the flag stuff. All right. That's them. That's the baby boomers. They are a bunch of, oh my gosh, if I could tell you how I feel, but y'all already know how I feel about them. Then thank God for that. Y'all already know how I feel about the boomers. Okay. Gen Z, bro, these kids, I don't like that. I will tell you 150 million times over. I don't like these kids. I don't like these kids at all. I can't stand these kids. I don't like these kids. Are they to blame for every bad thing that's happened? No. Are they victims of the boomers? Absolutely. But do we need to have personal responsibility? Like, does personal responsibility need to occur in the situation? Absolutely. 100%. Okay? Someone needs to say, okay, no, these kids need to start taking some accountability. They need to start taking some responsibility for what they are doing and for what's happening. Like, it's not again, it's not all their fault. It's the fault of the baby boomers. You know? It is the fault of the baby boomers. These are the greatest criminal. This is a generation of criminals. It's the boomer crime family, bro. Like, they are criminals. They stole our futures and they continue to steal futures. They're the reason why Gen Z is messed up like this. They absolutely are. All right? Social media, all of that trash. And they will never take any accountability for it because they don't have to. Their mental state is, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter because it's not our problem because we won't be here to deal. We won't be here to deal with it. All right. We'll be long gone. We'll be like bandits, making off with our bag of money. And we'll spend that money and leave you cleaning up the mess, because when we're gone, that's not our problem. All right. When we're no longer around, it's not our problem. Guys, this is who thinks like that. These people were never meant to be parents, let alone leaders in society. Come on.
The young adults that can't read or that struggle to read, I still have hope because I don't think that there's a limit to when you can learn how to read. And so I'm saying all of this to say I created a group on Facebook.
Let me make this very, very clear. If you don't learn how to read by a certain age, you're probably not going to learn how to read. Okay? Because the English language sucks. I'll be real. English language is hard. It is not easy to learn how to read. All right. You have to be conditioned to learn how to read. You have to put in effort. You have to grind. You have to struggle. All right. You have to put that work in. These muffins at their age, they're too tired. They're too messed up. They're too far gone. They're not going to, now they're adults. Come on. A lot of them are pushing young adulthood. They're not going to be bothered learning how to read because they're like, I don't have to. All right. I'll use dictation. I'll use software to do it for me. That's their absolute mental state. So it's like a pointless effort right now because they already realize they can get away with it. They can just basically say no. Like this is the UBI generation. 100%. This is the universal basic income generation. This is the generation that the boomers have been waiting for. Like that will basically, have to live off the government indefinitely. Like every last one of them will have to basically put their heads out to the state to be fed, to be given everything. Like this is the end of knowledge. These kids can't read. All right, I've wondered, like, if these kids can't read, how are they even responding to the comments? Oh, they're using dictation. They're using dictation. They take their phones, so they know how to use the apps. So they've been doing this. They've been doing this for many years, half a decade or more at this point. Because I didn't even know you could do this stuff simply because I can read. You know, many of us didn't know this technology. We had an idea that, but we didn't know how advanced the technology was because we can read, so we don't need dictation to read for us. In fact, many of us can speed read, so we know how to remove the conjugations and then just go through the different words like rapidly. But Gen Z, they can't even sound it out because they never were trained on phonetics. Phonetics is like a whole different language for them, and this is what the baby boomers did.
Book called The Life School Educational Resources Outlet. So just to show y'all, this is the Facebook group.
I mean, yeah, she's out here trying to like push her group. Now, guys, can you imagine that she's like trying? This woman literally went and created an academy. Created an academy. Like, okay, little bro, I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach y'all how to read. This is my Facebook group. I'm gonna teach y'all how to read in my Facebook group. All right. Listen, parents, if your kids don't know how to read, we can work on that. I can work with your kids and teach your kids how to read. It doesn't matter if they're 23 or they can't read. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna sound it out. All right. It's gonna cost you some money, but I will get your kids reading. Y'all, that is pathetic. That is so pathetic that we are at this. This is the society we now live in. All right. Where we're teaching kids how to read is a new hustle. Teaching these teaching these bad muffins how to read is a new hustle. All right. Because they can't read. They can't read. They really can't do anything. It's it's insane. There's actually a comedian I really like her. I think she was like the first generation of Gen X. She's a total baddie. This is where things it's crazy, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is she's the new attorney general. Regardless of how you feel about her, this woman is pushing 60. She's 59. She are 58, 59. She's pushing 60. She does not look 60. All right, and this is kind of like a notice that, like, older millennials and Gen Xers are aging far slower while Gen Z is aging far faster. And that's basically like the boomers looked really old very quickly when they were growing up. That's because they lived hard lives. They were, when I say hard, not difficult lives, hard lives. That's why they call it, physical intimacy, drugs, and rock and roll. That's where it came from.
He doesn't know how to write a check.
Bank transfer is faster.
They don't know how to address an envelope.
Email is faster, and we are trying to save the totals by less paper waste.
They don't know how to read cursive.
Alright, I'll give you that one because I don't even know what cursive is for.
They don't know how to read a paper map.
Paper maps? That's like Apple Maps. If they fix new road, it becomes outdated. Google Maps is better.
They can't get anywhere unless there's a GPS map on their phone.
No. I will just get lost 700 times, but eventually, as long as I am alive, I will find my way there.
Guys, let me tell y'all something. I had no idea this man was Gen Z. I thought this man was about my age. Because I saw this guy on YouTube years ago, and he looked old years ago. This man is Gen Z. This is it, guys. I thought this man was my age. I thought this guy was pushing 40. Listen to me. He looked old back then too. He did not look like a young spring. He was no spring chicken. This man is a Gen Zer. What the heck? What the HELLO is this? Y'all, Gen Z is cooked. Gen Z is cooked. That's why I keep telling y'all, don't end up cooked like Gen Z. All right? Don't wait for them to make it official that that the system is cooked. Because ATMs are going to freeze up, banks are going to close their doors, and your assets are at risk. Discover how to protect your wealth with cryptocurrency. At Angry's Crypto Academy, you'll master the skills to buy, sell, trade, and invest in the most secure coins. Plus, uncover 4 coins that virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the video description below to find out what these coins are and join the academy today, guys. And also, we have something else for you. We have something else for you because many of you guys don't know that you can actually earn money in a variety of different ways just using crypto. There's so many different ways to earn money using crypto. You can replace your 9-to-5 job with crypto. We actually have a thing called the replace 9-to-5 job with crypto blueprint. Hard times have arrived, and ATMs, as I said, are going to stop working, and the banks are going to change doors. At Angry's Crypto Academy, we're here to teach you how to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Don't miss out on our new blueprint. Also, escape the 9-to-5, how to replace your job with cryptocurrency, which is now available in the academy. Learn how to achieve financial freedom and replace your job with cryptocurrency. Check it out using the link in the description of the video below.
All I'm saying is if Gen Z takes over the world, it's going to be pretty easy to get it back.
Why are you people laughing at us? You are our mother. You were supposed to teach us all these things. It's your fault that we don't know it and you are laughing at us.
We're supposed to. You are our mother. You are our fathers. You're supposed to teach us all of these things. Listen to me. Nobody tell Gen X. We didn't have anything. We raised ourselves. We raised ourselves and raised each other. I don't know what y'all are talking about, bro. We had horrible parents that did not want us. Okay? Birthdays were the worst days. That comes from Biggie Smalls. Birthdays were the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we're thirsty. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, I could never picture this. Y'all remember those lyrics? Okay? I don't know what that's how we grew up. I don't know what's wrong with these kids. The world is a horrible place. I'm sorry y'all can't read, but that's on you. That's on you and the baby boomers. It's not your fault, but it's definitely it's your problem, and you need to work on it. These bad muffins can't read, guys. And while this is happening, men are chilling at home as society just collapses around them because they don't care anymore. Men were pushed out of society, so they walked away. Let me know what you guys think about this phenomenon. If you agree, it's only going to make things further the decline. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA and walking away and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.